Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment and Bolex Repair Philippines. Welcome to an overhaul on a Bolex non-reflex, part 6. We're going to be removing rust, a very time-tested method, an old method of removing rust that's very effective from rusty Bolex parts, and we're going to show you how to do that. All the things you see here on the table are things you're going to need. First, make sure it's always best, as I always suggest, to have your Bolex, especially this deep, especially to be serviced by a qualified technician, a knowledgeable technician. Any mistakes that you make attempting to service your own Bolex are on you. What we're about to do is another dangerous one, because we'll be removing the rust, and in order to do so, we're going to be using old-fashioned muriatic acid. And it removes rust very well with just a little bit of scrubbing. So you're going to need a rag over here for safety in case you get something on you by chance. You'll need a surgical mask, some type of mask, definitely eye protection, your goggles, a face shield for any type of splashing. It's going to be caused when you use your wire brush. The muriatic acid, of course, a plastic bowl for the muriatic acid. I use it straight, I do not dilute it. You're going to need a wire brush, as seen here, and then a soft plastic brush as well. The distilled water you're going to need after you finish scrubbing your particular rusted part. You'll need the distilled water to wash off the rusted part, otherwise the acid will corrode the part, okay? And last but not least, you need these. Rubber gloves. Because if you get this stuff on you, this acid, it will burn. You need the gloves to have a long arm and thick, okay? So, with all that being pointed out, let's get started on all this. Okay, one word of caution. When you put your straight muriatic acid in here, it will start to smoke and it will be a little bit yellow even when you're scrubbing and applying it. When you start using this wire brush here, that's what you need your face shield for in your long gloves, because there's going to be some splash. So if you happen to get it on you, it's going to burn a little bit. I get it a little bit on me sometimes. A little bit's okay. I'll wash off with the water, but a large amount is a different story. You surely don't want to get this stuff in your eyes or on your face. That's a real problem. All right, you want to look around at your rusted areas here and choose one to start scrubbing. Working on a Bolex, I always avoid dismantling this governor, especially in the older ones. They're a pain in the backside to reset. So I'll do everything I can to clean it off and get everything going without having to dismantle this thing. If you dismantle this thing, as I said before, you're going to wish you never had. So leave it alone at all costs, you know, as much as you can. Let's see here. So another point of interest here on these gears, where these two spring belts are here, you have little pieces of wire. If you happen to break those or you had to replace them, don't worry about it. Just go to your local music shop and get some guitar string. And that's basically what it is. All right. And if you happen to dilute your muriatic acid with water, make sure the water is in here first before you start scrubbing. The water's in there first. Pour the muriatic acid second. If you pour the acid first into the bowl and then the water, that acid is going to cause reaction. That acid is going to go nuts and start spraying, fuming, and it's going to start going back and forth. I'm not kidding. Don't mess with that stuff. Alright, so I've got the wire brush here. I'm doing some light scrubbing, and I'll show you a close-up in a minute. The rust is coming right off. In a moment I'll take this belt off. Right here. The acid will turn yellow. And even straight muriatic acid, it will smoke. And that's why you need your face, mouth, and eye protection. Okay, so already with just some light scrubbing, as you can probably see, and I'll get a close-up in a bit, you can start to see right here how clean it is, right? How very new looking it is versus this one over here. So keep that as a reference. Okay, so now you can see the difference in this clean area right here where the gears are, and even the belt, the spring belt. Everything's looking pretty new, very new in fact, versus all the rusted gear in this wheel right here. Alright? You just keep scrubbing it very lightly. You generally don't have to do it very hard. You can see how effective this is. You need a well ventilated area, by the way. Alright? Let's continue. Okay, remember I told you the acid will start to corrode? You have to wash it off with distilled water. It's happening already. You see that? I gotta wash that off. Now then, that's how effective the muriatic acid is. See how clean all the rust? I even got it out from under the film counter right here. These supports here, still working on it, but this is basic. See how clean the governor? Okay, so we're gonna take a look at some of these parts right here. I'm gonna get my glove back on. All right, if you wanna remove your belt, either one of those, you're welcome to do that and get up under there, that type of thing. It just lifts straight off just like that. Pull this up. You want to get up there on the underside of there and clean. You can still see there's rust up under there. Excuse me. So when you clean this, the acid is going to also react with your aluminum plate right here. You got to wash that off with distilled water even more. Dry it with your cloth and that type of thing. You got to work fast is what you got to do, but that's how you get it done right there. All right, it does remove paint. So if you're worried about it getting under your shutter, you have to repaint it. Look what you got now anyway, not very much. It's a big overhaul. You don't want to get it on the acid on your serial numbers. You got to remove those. All right, so be careful. All right, so do contact me at Bolex Repair Philippines FB page for parts, questions, servicing, rub up Bolex eye cups. Also contact me email at bolexrepairphilippines@gmail.com, and do click that bell and subscribe. Thanks a lot, and until next time, see ya.